Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TSG Multimedia Podcast for February 2018. As usual, we're sponsored in part by Podomatic. So thanks, Podomatic. January brought some expected and some unexpected changes. With Dan's recent departure from Train Life, I have some openings in the calendar that I'm working to fill with even better content than what you're used to seeing on the channel. One of these openings is for Model Railroading 101 later this month, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the podcast. I intend to keep releasing content every Saturday, with the first Saturday always being a podcast so that you know what to expect each month. I've always been committed to constant improvement, and this is no different. You can expect more excellent programs with high production value, but from now on, there's going to be a lot more variety. Other people will be invited to join me on the channel for various activities, and I'm very excited about this because the variety will make the content a lot more dynamic, fun, entertaining, and exciting. Something I did in January was to go on the TSG Multimedia website and lower the prices on a bunch of the DVD titles that are there down to just $10. So I'm in a bit of a celebratory mood with all the great things happening right now. And I thought, why not share in some of the positivity? So go to tsgmultimedia.com, click on the Shop tab and select DVDs. Then on the right side, you can select the option to view the items priced low to high and see what you might want to add to your collection. In January, YouTube added a new feature that I want to invite you to check out. It's called the Community tab, and it's right in the middle of the navigation bar just under the channel's graphic cover. I'm going to be posting updates here for people who are not Facebook followers. I already used it once in January to talk about TSG Channel 2, but more about that in a minute. I also intend to use this new Community tab to get feedback about topics for future programs. Something else that happened in January, and I'm really excited about this, I released my first ever app for smartphones. It's for iOS devices, and it's called John's Easy Weight Calculator. It's for automatically calculating the NMRA recommended weight for HO and N scale rolling stock. All you have to do is measure the model and enter the length. The app does the rest. So if you have a bunch of rolling stock you need to add weight to, check it out in the App Store. It's only 99 cents and there are no annoying ads on it. If it does well enough in the Apple Store, I'm looking at releasing an Android version later and probably going to release an update for the iOS version that includes more than just HO and N scale. Also this past month, YouTube sent out an email indicating that they're going to be eliminating monetization and advanced support features for channels that are under 1,000 subscribers and have fewer than 4,000 hours of annual watch time. In case you don't already know, I have a second channel called TSG Channel 2. I used to call it TSG WTF, but I changed it to Channel 2 recently. I upload non-train related stuff to this channel, including dash cam footage of bad drivers, product reviews, how-to videos, life hacks, video game reviews, nature videos, and just a lot of other stuff. It's a very eclectic mix of stuff. And in January, when I found out about YouTube's new policy, I posted a request to Facebook and also to the Community tab here on YouTube that I just talked about. And it was basically asking people to please subscribe to TSG Channel 2. I mentioned this because I was totally amazed. Over 100 people subscribed within the next couple of days. So I want to say thanks to everyone who already subscribed, and thanks even more to those of you who watched and commented on the channel as well. I really appreciate that more than you know. All that being said now, I know that there are more subscribers to this YouTube channel than there are likes on Facebook. So I'd like to ask all of you watching here to please help me out by subscribing and checking out what's on TSG Channel 2. Once you do, I'd love to have some feedback about what you like that's already on it and what else you would like to watch if I put it up on there. In case you haven't noticed, I live, eat, sleep, and breathe video production, and I'm always looking for topics, places, or whatever might be interesting to cover. And I would love to be able to grow both of these channels bigger, and I know that I can do it with your help. I'm going to take a look at the viewer poll results from last month. The question was, what is your favorite train-related gift to give or receive? And this is how it broke down. Models got 70% of the vote. Tools and supplies got 3%. Books and photos got 5%. Railroadiana got 16%. And our obligatory other got only 3%. Probably not terribly surprising that most people like to get or give models. So, in February, I'm going to go to my first ever operations session. And I'm pretty excited about this. I have no idea what to expect because I've never been part of an ops session. And I know that ops sessions vary from layout to layout. So it should be a lot of fun and a lot of learning. Fully expect to make a video to document this event. And chances are that video will release in March sometime. I'm also going to be resuming my layout tour filming schedule very soon to ensure that I can share some of the really great layouts I get to visit with everyone who watches the channel. If you know anyone who would enjoy this channel or channel 2, please share both with them. I appreciate everyone's interest and really makes my day to know that the content I put so much effort into is enjoyed by so many people. It's really great. I mentioned this last time that product reviews will be wedged in on Saturdays in the hour or two preceding the main program that goes live at 9 a.m. Pacific time. If there's no main program, then the product reviews will be the main event, and the final one will post at 9 a.m. And this is the way it's going to be until further notice. Speaking of product reviews, I'm really looking forward to reviewing the models, as I want to make the reviews reflect the views of someone that is really focused on value, because I know that a lot of people out there operate on pretty tight budgets. I would guesstimate that probably the majority of viewers do this. I'm not going to focus as much on perfect prototype specificity as I will on, does it look like what it's supposed to be? I think that's what matters probably to most people. And another thing is it worth the price? I've never been a hardcore rivet counter, and I never will be. I think I know enough, having seen hundreds of other products across the bench here, to notice very obvious discrepancies, but I figure since the reviews are produced in a way that you can see the model very well anyway, I'm going to leave more of that decision to you, because you're the one that has to buy it in the end, and only you know if it's good enough for your layout. I think you're smart enough to make that decision. I will still check the objective stuff like coupler height, wheel gauge, weight, paint quality, level of detail, stuff like that. But, I realize it's a kind of a subjective thing to opine on value, and I feel like it was sort of glossed over in the past, or maybe not focused on as much as I would like to have seen it. So I expect that my spike ratings will probably be very similar to what you've come to expect. But since the focus is going to be slightly different and the presentation is going to be very different, it'll be interesting to see how it comes along. I have fun, and I like to laugh, and I love to make other people laugh. So expect to be entertained more than you were in the past. On February 10th, so next week, we have a layout tour that's Silicon Valley Lines. This is a fairly well-known layout, HO scale in San Jose, downtown. It consists of many different sections, and something I think is really cool about what they do there is that each member gets his or her own section and is allowed to model anything. So the variety is pretty good on this layout. The layout tour also includes some operational dynamics that I've never had in a layout tour, and it's a pretty big layout, so you won't want to miss this one. That's February 10th, 9 a.m. Pacific time. February 17th is going to be all product reviews. On February 24th, the new and improved Model Railroading 101 will come out. And in last month's MR 101 that came out last week, Dan and I talked about the next episode being about transporting and storing models. That's not going to happen. Instead, I plan to extend the talk about tools for one more episode and cover what someone starting off in the hobby really needs. And this is all done in the context of my personal experience over the past few months. I know a little bit about this because, as you may realize, I sort of started off in the hobby myself last year when I decided to start doing DCC installations of my own. So that episode should be very helpful to anyone who wants to start, as I have, with a focus on bringing DC locomotives to life with DCC. I have a poll this month that's pretty important to me because I want to find out, sort of gauge, what the viewers of this channel are all about. And what I mean by that is I noticed when I was doing the analysis of last year's viewership that Model Railroading 101 was very popular. And so I want to know from you how you would describe your modeling skills. Are you hardcore modeler, advanced, moderate, a beginner, or do you think Thomas the Tank Engine is the best thing ever? I want to find this out because I want to know which content is going to be most likely to be watched by the most people. So again, hardcore, advanced, moderate, beginner, or Thomas the Tank Engine. So that's it for this month. It looks like there's some change headed our way this year, but I'm going to make sure that change is for the better. You can expect more variety, more energy, more great content, more entertaining content. If you haven't already told your friends, let them know now. Let's see how fast we can take this channel and Channel 2 to the next level. I'll see you next time, and thanks a lot for watching.